Welcome, everybody. We're excited to have you here. My name is Carla Cruz Silva, and I serve as the Associate Director for Hispanic Serving Institution Initiatives at the University of Arizona. And today we have Melissa Acuña, who serves as the Peer Navigator for the HSI Initiatives office, to talk a little bit about the Hope Leadership Program and her experience in the leadership program. So I'll go ahead and let Melissa take it away.
Thank you, Carla. Again, my name is Melissa Acuña. I am a senior at the University of Arizona who is graduating very soon. I have a leadership program. I did a leadership program with Hope. I've worked with Amazon. I'm going to work with Amazon this summer. So that's just a little bit about me. And we're going to get into this presentation about the Hope program, what it is, how to apply, and just some fun stuff. So again, it's the Hope Leadership Program. Hope stands for Hispanics Organized for Political Equity or Equality. I'm not sure which one it is, but it's a California-based program where they try to get Latinas together, Latinx peers, to try to just bolster and make community. And specifically, this college leadership program is targeted for Latinx women who are interested in some college leadership programs. So for the intro, in 2021, I participated in the 2021 class of Hispanic Leadership Program presented by Hope. For me, it was a 3-month hybrid program done through the fall. So I had classes all day. This is during the pandemic. And then in the afternoon, I would do these. It was bi-weekly. And then every afternoon, you have a leadership program or like a workshop presented by experts. And for this year, it will be in the summer and the applications will be due in late April, but it will start in late May, early June, and end in August. And they're bi-weekly, same thing, workshops, special guests, and curated lectures. So as far as the application process, there's a few qualifications for it. You self-identify as a Latina, you're currently in a full-time undergrad college, grad student, or you're recently graduated. If you are recently graduated, it'd be within a year of graduation. You must be 18 through 24, must come from a low income underserved community. I'm not sure how they qualify that in the application, but I'm not sure, but it's also geared towards first generation college students. You don't have to be first generation, but I will say a lot of the workshops are kind of geared towards people who have those experiences as a first gen student. And you must complete the application packet, which I'll talk about. And you're encouraged, but it doesn't have to be, from Arizona, California, Colorado, Florida, Illinois, New Mexico, New York, or Texas. But again, if you're not from here, but I'm assuming everybody watching this will be from the U of A, but you don't have to be. The application process requirements. So this is the actual application packet that I mentioned right now. Your personal demographics. So if you're a Latina, like if you're Mexican, Cuban, whatever it may be, your educational information. So they just kind of want to verify where you go, have you graduated, things of that sort. They'll be prompted short responses. So I think I did one, and it was specifically, how have I been a leader in my community and how can I continue to do that? How will this program help me? Something of the sort. I'm not sure if they change it every year, but that was the one I did. And then it asks you about your college, civil, and your community engagement. I will say, this is important. You don't necessarily have to be a huge college interactions, engagement, or civil or community. It kind of just tells you how you have been or how you haven't. And it also can tell you, explain why you haven't, things of that sort. And then the optional responses is something of the same vibe of, if you haven't been doing college, civil, or community engagement, why? And again, the deadline for this year's Hope HCLP program is April 28th, 2023 at midnight. Pacific Standard Time for them because they're in California. But so as far as the application process, why did I apply? I'm a first generation student in college, and the experience can be very isolating. It can feel hard to have friends who have the same experience. It kind of feels like you're kind of drowning and everyone knows how to swim around you. And this program really seemed like something I would meet other people who were like-minded like myself, because it does say first generation, self-identity Latina, and like that's me. So I got to create the network of like-minded peers. This is another thing that I really didn't think about too much until I was actually doing it, but learning and acquiring soft skills. which is like communication, leadership. Those things aren't things you do every day or in college. And learning these skills can make you a competitive applicant in anything you're applying to, grad school, job, anything. And just also like for me, it made me feel I wasn't alone. You're not alone as a first generation Latina or student or anyone in college. You're not alone. And this program really helps create a community that makes you feel that way, that you're not alone. So as far as that, my experience, so the program, like I'd mentioned, consists of virtual training workshops. Again, since it's so many people from different parts of the country, it'll be virtual. And I'll mention the hybrid part right now. But topics range from creating social media brand, you're branding yourself, imposter syndrome. And the good thing about this is these are experts and trained people from their field. So it is the best of the best in their field. They know what they're talking about. It's not just anyone lecturing at you. It's someone who really knows social media or what it is, the imposter syndrome or leadership, things of that sort. And again, you connect with like-minded Latinas, and you also do a civics project that engages with your community, because HOPE is really about engaging with your community. So I did an op-ed. My op-ed was specifically about redistricting here in Tucson, things of that sort. That's what I talked about. And you do have the opportunity to get it published. And then for track 2, which is the hybrid part, I will say I did not participate in these only because of the pandemic. I wasn't really up to traveling for all of this, but you now get, we're in different days, thankfully. You get to participate in HOPE Latina History Day, Latina Action Day, and the most important thing is the Young Professional Summit. I know when my year, Erika Sanchez was going to be there, and she wrote I Am Not Your Perfect Mexican Daughter, and I love that book. So it's people of that sort, speakers, people you worked with online. And now in my day-to-day, still in 2023, I get access to HOPE resources like their monthly newsletters and Latina briefs. I've been featured in one of those. So you get featured, talks about scholarships, opportunities. And now I get access to pop-up coaching, which is someone who is in the program, has been in the program. You sign up, and if you need help with anything, there's someone who can help you with it. So that's the hybrid part. Most of it, the summer will be online sessions, but then you get to participate in these summits, action days, history days, of that sort. And what did I learn? Again, I mentioned imposter syndrome again. It's something that I have faced, kind of still deal with sometimes, feeling like, wow, maybe I don't belong here. But it's something that we really talked about in that in one of those sessions that really helps, because it makes you feel like maybe I'm not the only one who feels that way, and kind of that community helps you feel less impostery. And then you can create your brand. Oh, that was a really big one. I don't remember her name, but she was a pretty big social media coordinator. She talked about your LinkedIn, your any social media that has to be connected with you. That's why I think my LinkedIn's a little bit better, because I actually paid attention. Otherwise, my LinkedIn would be pretty trash. Just communication. I also say you get to go like into breakout rooms with the other Latinas in this. So you get to know them, get to know what they're doing, what they're majoring in, and just that kind of sort of thing. There's really just like you lecture and then you go to like a breakout room, talk about it, come back, that sort of thing. And then my op-ed project, I had a really fun time doing that. And then they really emphasize understanding your strengths and weaknesses as a student, as a person, as a community leader. We also talked about public speaking, which is very relevant to me now because I've done a couple talks here at the HSI office for Amazon and for this, and it's just important. And just, again, creating a new network of Latinx peers. So, and yeah, that's it for me. Thank you. Any questions?
Awesome. Thank you, Melissa. I think it's great. Melissa's had some really unique and amazing experiences through, being a student at the University of Arizona, including participating in this program. And so just, some quick questions for you, Melissa. As you're talking, you did talk about, what are some of the things you learned? And so I'm curious, are there any specific skills or tools that you feel you learned in this program that once you graduate in, I was like, what's the date? Like in a month, and then onto your full-time position with Amazon. Are there any skills or tools from this leadership program that you feel you'll be able to use when you move into your full-time role?
So that's a really great question. At Amazon, my facility specifically, it was a pretty male-dominated team, white men specifically. So being that one in a bunch, a Latina, first gen, can be, again, isolating. But I think the soft skills that I learned, leadership, communication, public speaking, really, really bolstered something maybe that was like hard already existed in me, but really pushed that in me. Like, I should be heard. My opinion should be heard. My opinions, projects. I had a project at Amazon still being used at the facility. So I think that program really helps you if you're in a shell of maybe like, oh, I'm not good enough for this or that sort. It really helps you push you out of your shell, really. And public speaking, although it may seem easy or anyone's like scared of it, it's an important soft skill that is not easily teachable to your everyday. So it's definitely something that I think maybe my most important is my voice being heard and knowing how to use it.
No, and I think that's so important. And it's great that through their leadership program, you were able to like gain some of those skills, and now they're skills that you'll use, right? And that's our hope when folks participate in something like this, is that you gain skills that not only do you use in the program, right, but as you decide to go to graduate school, professional school, into the workforce. So that's really awesome. And then my last question for you, you were able to complete, they asked for quite a few things in this application process. And so I'm just curious, do you have any tips if there are folks watching this and seeing this and they're like, wow, that, doing the Hope Leadership Program seems like something I want to do. Do you have tips for completing the application, or tips for, what are some resources specifically for some of our U of A students watching this that you would tell them, definitely tap into this or that?
I would say, please use your resources. Please go to offices, go to think tank, or even our office, the Hispanic Service Institute. Contact myself or Carla. I'll pop up my email right now, our social media, our website, our email. Contact us if it's for anything, your resume, an application, or just any question. I think that's like one of the things I maybe struggle with too, is just, oh, that's a stupid question, so I won't ask it. But use your resources, especially like I've been in those shoes. So please contact us, come to our office or any office at the U of A that is there for that. Because I feel like sometimes those resources go underused because we're scared to go to them. And another thing is just for any application, take it slow. Like it can be intimidating. So take it slow, go through it, maybe come back to it. Also, just don't procrastinate too much, because I do that sometimes. But that's really just take it slow. And also, when it says optional responses, and if you haven't been a community leader in your eyes, maybe take that opportunity to be like, this is why, or maybe I've done it in a different way that maybe isn't conventional or typical of what it looks like for anyone. And that's pretty much, yeah, my tip.
Yeah, no, I think that's awesome. I really love that you're saying, sometimes we are hard on ourselves, right? And we think like, oh, this isn't leadership, or this isn't, whatever they're asking. And so how do we talk a little bit more about that and say, yeah, maybe this isn't the conventional thoughts of leadership, but my job or this thing that I do is leadership, and this is why. So thank you again, Melissa, for, sharing with us what that experience was like for you, and then sharing some tips and tricks for folks who are maybe thinking about applying. We are super grateful to Hope and the College Leadership Program here at the U of A, and specifically within HSI Initiatives. We're lucky to partner with them and to have conversations with them as they look to grow their program, but to also really ensure that they're bringing folks from the U of A into this program. So just as a reminder, if you're thinking of applying, the due date for this is April 28th. So you've got a few weeks at 11:59 Pacific Central Time. Also, if you want to learn more, as Melissa said, you can, or need help, you can definitely reach out to either of us. We'll make sure to put our emails as well as our social media so that you can reach out in whatever way is most comfortable for you. And if you want to learn more about the program, we'll also stick their website in there, but I'll verbally say it just in case you want to type it in your phone or your web browser, but it is latinas.org/HCLP. So if you are interested in participating, we definitely encourage you to apply. And then just one last thing, for folks who do apply, Melissa did talk a little bit about that summit and the Hope Latina Day of Action. And so some of those do require some travel, but there are stipends for students to help with paying the cost of like hotel, flight, any kind of like accommodations or traveling that is necessary. So if financials is something that you're a little worried about or want to talk through, just know that there is stipends for students who go. And so, hopefully that takes away the financial barrier that you may think is in place. And so we hope that you will apply. And if you do apply and you get accepted, our office and myself specifically will reach out to you. And that way I can be kind of just there for any questions you have or as you figure out some of the summit or other pieces. But thank you for tuning in. And if you have questions, just let us know later.
Thank you.
Bye.